Welcome back to the dumbest modeling channel on all of YouTube, Pit Stain Hobbies. Well, I requested Q Branch send me some equipment for a special mission, and unfortunately he's shipping it in parts. Q must be pretty confident. By the way, the name's Stain, Pit Stain, licensed to dumb. Here we go. We have got pack one, that side Ian, of the DB5 from No Time to Die from Agora Models. This thing is going to be sweet. Whenever you, word association, you say cheeseburger, I say Shake Shack. You say 007, I say minigun donuts. Oh yeah, this is the minigun donuts machine right here. And, oh man, it's an all new mold, all new. The body lines, everything is new. And the body lines are way more accurate on this than a previous iteration of a DB5, not this DB5. We have some lovely features here. We have a lot of gadgets. We have the miniguns in the headlights. We have the mine layers in the back. We have all the little ejector seat and hatch, the console with the controls, the tracking system, LED number plates, so you could change number plates to evade those pesky speed cameras all over the UK. You guys hate those things, don't you? We've got a remote control. Oh man, it's very cool. We've got some information about the Agora Promise here, where they basically say you're gonna get the whole model. We cross our hearts and hope to die. Yes. So Agora is pretty damn awesome. And I'll tell you one thing: Agora Models shipping is on point. Whatever warehouse they're using in the U.S., stuff just shows up. Look at that. That's the full size. So this is a 3x2 cutting mat. So this is going to be a pretty big model of the most beautiful Aston Martin ever made in the history of the world, according to the vast majority of people. Myself included, I'm pretty keen on the DB5. I have one other Aston Martin that I also am truly in love with. We can only hope that it gets made. V8 Vantage. V8 Vantage. I want that one too. Oh, the Lotus Submarine. They have the license for all these cars, so let's just get down in the link, order one now. This thing just came out. It's sick. We're going to start putting it together today. There are some very intricate wheels with this and also some less intricate wheels with this. So if we pull up our instructions, which we actually opened up ahead of time, we are going to start with the hood. These parts are just so packaged, so lovely. Oh, the paint finish on these doors is just phenomenal. Ah, there's the hood. Oh, that's nice. And, oh, we're going to open this up. It looks like you get a pretty good screwdriver with this. Like something you get in an electronics repair shop or something. Pretty cool. So we're going to put this aside. And there we go. Our little side work stand. Let's, I don't want to peel this open. I'm going to do like the other, well, the biggest parts work builder on YouTube, and I'm going to go around the edge with a hobby knife. Clearly not as neatly as he did, because I'm an oaf. Let's see here. Oh boy. Oh, I rewatched No Time to Die recently, and honestly, that whole opening montage, and when he starts going into the minigun donuts, damn, it's so cool. Oh my God, look at that detail. That's a raised chrome badge on that hood that says Superleggera. Oh wow, you could easily read it without with my bad up close vision. I can read it. Oh, and the paint finish, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this lighting here that I have, it's almost what like detailers use to to get every little imperfection out of a car's paint. So we have the hood there. We have some bonnet lining, heat shield or soundproofing in real life, one or the other. Probably more soundproofing. So we got that. It's a nice, like, felty, velvety material. We got a little bit of hood frame here. And some other little bits and pieces. The insert for the hood scoop. That's metal. Cool. And some hood hinge bits, which are also metal. And we're gonna come in here a little bit. I'm going to get these parts out of here, and there's some screws. When we start any parts work, Q Branch recommends 3-in-1 oil on all screws going into metal. I don't disagree with him. As well as a fresh bead organizer tray. These are in my Amazon store. I have a link of all the stuff I use on the channel. So I'm breaking out one, DB5, with my horrible handwriting. I'm gonna put that over there to the side. We're gonna do this here. And here's a screwdriver. I just wanna go over this for a second because I'm gonna use my VHAs, but it seems like a notch above the normal partwork screwdriver. It's an aluminum body and it's got the little twisty head on it, which is a big feature on the fancy screwdrivers most of us use, whether they're Wera, Vera, or Via, or whatever. These are very nice. Okay, and then a couple little hood hinges and pins. And I'm gonna get set up for step 1 here. And I don't know where I'm putting all these parts trays. Pile them up in the corner, Ian. Just keep doing that. And we are definitely gonna break out a microfiber towel. Okay, we want towel-y here. And yeah, well, we know here. We just put this little hood scoop in place right there on those metal pins. It fits nice and tight and snug and fills that little gap like so. And then, oh, this is where you got to be quite precise. So this felt needs to go down right exactly there. You got to center it, and then it has a slit in it to go behind the hood scoop. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to peel off, peel, Ian, peel. We're already 7 minutes into the video. No one wants to watch you peel. It's going to be a fairly long episode. So I'm going to peel back to the slit. And then I'm going to get these lined up. I'm going to start pressing that down there. They seem pretty well aligned. Then what we're going to do is peel up the rest of this, and we're going to gently push down behind the hood scoop. And then push that down to the back, and we've got that pretty well centered there. There we go. Okay, so we got our felt lining on. Once we did that, then we're going to take this piece, and you want it facing up like that. This is the side that's going to face down towards the hood. And we're going to get this bolted into place with, looks like 5 screws. On a fixing point, I think we're going to do the 3 screws at the back only. 3 screws at the back. So I'll be right back in 1 sec. Okay, it's time for some hood hinges. So we're going to take that little guy, hello. We're going to take one of these little square parts while gritting our teeth. There's a little extra downslope on the bottom of it versus the top. That is going to face down, and then the loops on the hood hinge are going to face down. Then we're going to take one of these little metal pins, and we're going to put it in there and get it kind of started in the hole. Then I'm going to use these things, these duckbill pliers. A few of the guys have these things. Son of a... That is bound to happen to somebody. So we're going to line these up again and try to... Okay, here we go. I'm going to line these up again, try to get that into the little hole. And once again... I think we've got it. I think we've got it. And then we're just going to squeeze her home. And then there's knurls. There's knurls on one end that should grab into the hole of that little metal loop. Okay, there we go. That's it. It's in. It looks good. And it bends. I'm going to get the other one squeezed together, and we'll be back in a sec. All right, we got both our hinges made, and with the loop facing down, okay, we are going to flip up the little block. We're going to place this over the little holes, and we're going to get 2 of these little tiny DS20 screws in each one. Tiny tap of the 3-in-1 oil. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. We're in the hole. Okay, and then one more on the other hole of this hinge. Tappy tap. There we go. Okay, we'll get that sent home. Nice and snug, but not too snug. Don't over tighten. She's in there good. I'm going to get the second hinge put on, and I will return. Okay, so both our little hinges are on, and we've got this little plastic doodad with a little pointy tip at one end. We're going to take the straight tip and put it into this hole right here. And it is a nice snug fit. Don't go crazy on it. Once it's pushed in, it's pushed in. There you go. And we can see that. And there's our whole hood frame in place. Quite nice. Very nice. And that's it for that first stage. Now we have wheel options. This is where things can get a little daunting for some people, but it's easily doable. There's a fancy easy build wheel, and then there's a regular wheel, which is the very intricate wheel. I'm obviously going to do the intricate wheels, but we'll do the easy build wheels as well. So let me get the wheel parts out, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to start with the easy wheel because that was earlier. That's earlier in the instructions. So we're going to take this little dome thing. We're going to put it so it's like a bowl. We're going to take this little plastic 3-pegger thing and the inner hub. We're going to put that in there. Then we're going to flip her over, and we're going to take this little fella, and we're going to put, it has 3 big holes and 3 small holes. So it looks like we should be able to, yeah, they'll fit right over there. Let's see, let me make sure I've got that on there just right. Get that on the 3 little pegs. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Oh, it kind of snaps into place a little. Then there's 3 little holes here. We're going to take 3 of these utterly microscopic PS3 screws, PSO3, and we're going to support this from the bottom, right in the center with our finger. Why is this thing not focusing today? Probably because I have a gray background and silver parts. So we're going to get 1 screw in each of these 3 little holes. Okay, and I'm going to get the other 2 in, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, so our 3 screws in. Don't tighten them very much. Just once, like barely the lightest little bit of tightness. That's all they really need. So now that's built. So now we're going to take the inner spoke section, and it does have little spokes sticking up. So we're going to take those sticking up. We're going to take this inner hub, and we are going to place it on the pins, on the 3 pins. Then we're going to put 3 PS32 screws into there. So the PS32 are right here. We're going to put 3 of those into this little assembly. So we got a little hole right there. And there we go, there's one. All right, and I'm gonna get the other two in and return. All right, well, those 3 screws are in. Now we're gonna take this with the little spokes facing up, and we're gonna face it down. And then what we wanna do is take this, oh, come on, focus you, there we go. We wanna take this, and there's these tiny little V's here, and we wanna get one of these spokes in between each of those V's. So bear with me. It's got a keyed set of holes that it has to go into. Let's see here. There we go. She's snapped into place. And I just want to make sure we've got a spoke between each V. And we do. And that's good. Okay. And then we're going to put this down. We're going to take this outer ring, or the spoke retainer, and we're going to place it with these tabs down over this. And we want to get it, so the spokes that are coming down sit into these little nubs, these little recesses here. So that will take you potentially a second or two. Let's see here. Okay, let me get these lined up. I'll be right back so I can show you. Oh, I had to break out the magnifiers, but they're in there. If you could, it's all chrome and silver. It's a little hard to make out. Luckily, the instructions are very good at explaining how it should look. It's damn near, let me see here, impossible to get a good camera shot of that. But they're all in there. Honestly, they're looking pretty amazing already. Then we're going to take this whole thing, and don't breathe on it. And we're going to take this ring here, and it's got 4 bosses. And we want to get that down. Sorry, wrong one. We want this one. There we go. It's got those 4 horseshoe slots. And we want to get those 4 horseshoes on those 4 downward tabs there. Okay, so the tabs go into those little horseshoe cutouts. And I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure here. Then we got to get 4 of these PSO2 screws. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to get those in real quick, and I will be right back because this camera does not want to focus on chrome. It's killing me. I got to order the special chrome camera. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, so that center section is screwed down with those 4 PSO2 screws. And now we're going to take this other section, and there's 4 notches in here. It's so hard to see with the chrome, but there's 4 notches in there. And we're going to get those over these 4 little tabs that we just screwed down. And it's going to sandwich together nice and neat. And then we're going to take 4 more PSO2 screws in here and get those in there. And I'll be back after I put in these other 3 screws. One sec. Okay, so those 4 screws are in the back, and I actually forgot to bolt in that little circular plate. It goes on the 3 pins, and then there's 3 recesses, but screws. So I just took the 3 screws out. I can't believe I screwed that up. This is the easy build wheel. Imagine how much I'll do fine on the complex wheel. But look how it's very nice. It's a little simplified, but I think, honestly, if you can't handle or don't want to deal with all the individual spokes, this wheel looks beautiful. Like, if you're looking at this thing on a shelf and you're just like, oh, look at that. That looks really nice. All those nice little spokes. It's beautiful. So we're going to get on, and we're going to build, building the regular wheel. The regular wheel, the traditional way, with all the little bitty spokes. So we'll be right back. Okay, well, we're getting back to living and let dying. We have pack 2. We have the wheel parts here. We have this little jig here, and it is keyed. And we're going to take this very metal center hub, and we're going to put it down onto there on the keyway. Now it still rotates. I could foresee this getting a little fiddly. If we could keep it from rotating, that would be lovely, but I don't think that's an option right now. So we're going to take that, and we're going to take our outer, here we go, the outer rim. And now there's a hole on this outer rim. Even with the chrome glaring in the camera, you can see that. And there's a peg right here. And we want to get it down on that peg. And there it is. So it's on the peg. And this might actually push down a little more. Are you going to push down a little more for me? Let's see. I think that's all it does. Yeah, that's his. There we go. Okay, she's pushed down all the way. All right, you just wiggle it, rotate it back and forth until it pushes down. Now here's the hard part. They include tweezers in this set for a very good reason. With these itty bitty little tiny spokes here. So let's go ahead. You know what? I'm going to use the scissors for this one. Get in there. Okay, I'm going to dump these tiny little spokes out. I wonder if they give you spare spokes in case you launch one across the room with your tweezers. I'm going to use my own tweezers, and we're going to examine one of these spokes very closely. Now, if you can see, ow! I just stabbed myself with the tweezers. There's like a little nail head on that and a straight bend, and then here there's a little number 7. So the way these go in, God help me if I can zoom in enough for this. All right, and oh yeah, mandatory equipment here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in tight, pretty tight. We're on digital zoom now. It's a little tiny bit on the fuzzy side. This chrome is impossible to autofocus on, and we're gonna get through the bottom hole. It's actually easier to do by hand. And then we're gonna pull it through. Okay, we're gonna hold this in place. And just like that. Okay, so it's coming out of there. And can it go into here? Yes, it can. Okay, up. Here we go. Let's get her into place. Push this out on the inside. And like that. See how it comes out and it goes over at an angle? So we got to do that umpteen million more times. Go all the way around. And I'm going to get to work on that. I don't have a time-lapse capability like the big boy channel, World of Wayne. He did a good time-lapse on it. You're welcome to go check out that wheel video. They also have a wheel video on Agora's website under their download section. You could watch that. So I'm going to get these spokes in, and I shall return shortly. Okay, so I wanted to show you after just a few more. There you go. You can see the spoke. So they're going in every other hole, and those little grooves are angled to match the angle of each spoke. And then the little return, the little 7, are all going to point the same way. And we're going to go all the way around the wheel like that. I find it easiest to start the spoke by hand into the hole. Get the little, hook it in there, and just start it in the hole like that. Kind of shove it through. And then lay it in place with your tweezers. Now I'm like leaning over the table here, And the more of these you get in, the more stable it gets. And there we go. It drops right in. And you want to keep an eye on all your previous spokes. Make sure they don't pop out of place. You know, you're just going to just make sure they stay. The more you get in, the more stable the center ring gets and the less it wants to spin around and wobble around on you. The first two are probably the hardest ones to get in. After that, it gets easier. We'll be right back. Alrighty, well that was that was a somewhat significant amount of work, but once you get a rhythm going, it ain't that bad. Get a good soundtrack going. Another top tip from me, make sure the place you're working is nice and warm. You don't want to be shivering in the cold. Don't try to lace wire wheels if you're chilly. Put a space heater on, something. I don't know, drink a hot cup of tea or coffee. Maybe not too much coffee or tea. You might get the jitters. But yeah, there we go. They all went in. Those are all the bottom spokes that are in. And now that those are in, we're going to go ahead and do the whole thing again. And there's an upper row of holes here. Let me try to show you, see, without, there's that upper row of holes. And we're going to do the same thing with another bag of 24 spokes. And it's exactly the same process, except we're going to go opposite. I'm going to show you after I get the first one or two in. Okay, be right back. Okay, so these upper ones go in the opposite direction of the lower ones, and that's how you want them. Crossing right over. So you have the sevens kissing, just like that. And I think about 22 more of these. Don't jostle the wheel. I'm taking a lot of risks here, picking it up and finagling it for video. It's. I'll tell you one thing. It's harder to film than it is to build this wheel. That's my honest truth here. Once you've gotten a few going, you kind of forget the world exists, and you just keep chugging through. So we'll be right back. Okay, I'm sort of at the limits of the zoom on this camera, but if you can see that, that is a solid couple hours of work. It gets easier, and then it gets harder, because what you really want to do is when you're putting these spokes in, you want to just stabilize that center hub while you're swinging them through there. And when you get the spoke about halfway through, you flip it, like just play with it with the tweezers until you get the 7 in the right direction, and then it goes in pretty darn easy. So now that we've got that done, we've got to very carefully lay down this spoke retention ring, and we're going to find where we have to lay it. It's going to be on these 4, got alarms going off. It's going to be right here on these 4 little bosses. Okay. And I'm taking this off camera for a second there. So I just want to make sure I've got everything in the right spot. Hold on one sec, I'll be right back. All right, so here's how this goes. When you lay down this hub retention ring, there's this notch right here, and there's a notch in the wheel. Lay it gently down in there and just maintain some light pressure on it and get your 4 PSO1 screws in there. We can now remove it from the jig. I'm going to go ahead and I don't want to pull super hard on it. Okay. Well, the retention ring has done its job. It's retained all our spokes. Oh boy. Okay. That was a slight pucker moment there, pulling it off the jig. But she's in, and she's good. And it's kind of, interesting. So, oh my God. Okay. We did it. Oh, that's amazing. This is my first ever wire spoke wheel. Some of the other Partworks builders, they've done, I think, the Jaguar, the Jaguar, and maybe the older DB5 from another Partwork company. It wasn't quite as nice of a model. It wasn't a very good model, apparently. What I've heard. This one so far is utterly fantastic. And now the outer spokes we got to do. Now, the inner spokes, or whatever these spokes, the main spokes, there was 48 of these total. The outer, there's only 24 total. So I'm going to grab those parts, and I'm going to zoom back out. Look, it's still my workbench. We still got stickers. Oh boy, okay, be right back. Sorry about the added background noise. I'm running my space heaters. It is down in the 30s in Georgia, or 40s or whatever. It's cold in the basement garage. Slicing open our stage 3 parts, and we have our A and our B. So now they're designated A and B spokes. Okay, so pay attention. We got some PSO2 screws. We have the inner part of the rim, outer part of the rim, and we've got this little metal retaining ring here. And what we're gonna do is we're going to put, what is going on here? We're gonna take this ring, and there is a hole, there's a pin right there, and we're gonna get that on that pin and then snapped around all these fellas here. Okay, so that looks good. I didn't do everything backwards. It's nice to know. Okay, and we got that little pinhole showing up there. So we're gonna align the spacer with the round. Turn the assembly over and push a tip of a type A spoke. Okay, so now we're gonna take out the A spokes. You know, if you have arthritic hands or something, just I'd say just do the easy wheels. They still look fantastic, and only upon up close microscopic examination will you really notice the difference. Yeah, the inner, the outer, yeah, they both look really nice. I think I mean, I'm going to prefer the wire mesh with the actual laced wire wheels. Now, how do these go in? Okay, I'm going to examine these instructions just a little bit more, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got one spoke in already, just to show you how it goes here. So you put it, these A spokes go in the bottom hole, and you're going to put it through this little diamond area right here. Then the second one, you're not going to go through the next diamond area. You're going to skip a diamond area and drop it in there. So I'm going to try to do one for you on camera here. And, Ian, camera. Okay, I'm going to stand up. Oh, it's like I'm eating a sandwich at that Italian beef place in Chicago. Elbows on the counter. Lean over the counter. Now this is a little fiddly right here, but it might help if you suspend from the center hub. Hold it up off the work surface from the center hub, but it's a little bit maddening. You gotta get it into that little diamond. We can steer it in. Oh God, I'm fully blocking the camera. Hold on a second here. Okay, so I've completely failed at filming this up close. I have to get my head right over the part. It's almost impossible. But I got two spokes in the bottom holes here, and they go in and through the diamond just to the left of them. And you can like turn it that way, and they're like to the left of them. Okay? Then the second one, you skip a diamond, you put it in that diamond. We're gonna go all the way around, skipping a diamond, putting a lower spoke through every other diamond, going down. And I should be back, hopefully, if I don't off my... No, it's not that bad. The first one was fiddly. The second one was a little less fiddly. I'm going to get the hang of this. You kind of got to steer them in with the back of the pin halfway through. It's just really hard to film that part. I'll be right back. All right, we got our 12 A spokes in there. So if you can see, they're going in every other diamond. It's a little fiddly. You just kind of wiggle them down there and just have at it until you get them all in. I don't have a specifically great technique for it. It's just sort of get it halfway in there, try to hold on to the back of the spoke a little bit, and then steer the front of the spoke in with your tweezers. I'm going to do the top row of spokes now, and they're going to go opposite the bottom row of spokes into the other diamonds that are not yet occupied with spokes. So we'll be back in a few minutes. All right, so now we've got a B spoke in there, and if you can see right here, we're going to insert the B spoke into the upper hole to the right of its neighbor spoke, and then cross over to the left and into that diamond right there. Now we got to do that all the way around the rim, and then we get to flip her over and lay all those spokes into place on the other side of the rim, on the back side, and get them fixtured down. I'll be back after 11 more spokes. See you in a sec. I love all the fingerprints on there. Oh boy, it looks like a crime scene. Be right back. Well, I've been listening to a lot of 70s era James Bond music. I just put on a Spotify playlist. So all of our little guys are in there, and you can see how they alternate going through those diamonds. Little hard to see, but yeah, they're all in there. So now what we got to do, as per the instructions, is we need a piece of tissue, and we're just gonna take a chunk of this, I think, and we're gonna moisten it up. One of these little laboratory squirter things. A little. That makes good spoogey noises. Okay, we're gonna just get that tissue moist. This is in the instructions. I thought World of Wayne was yanking my leg for a minute there when I was watching his video the first time. But we are going to take a little tissue and we're going to lift up the wheel, make sure all of those spokes are fully seated, and we're just going to jam that tissue in there and then flip it over, and that will force all the spokes out. Now what we need to do is we got to hook all these little guys into these notches in here. Again, this is something, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this on camera. Let me rotate the whole camera assembly down a bit. Now we're crooked. Oh boy, come on, Ian. Because I'm trying to get it a little closer to me so I can actually work on it at a reasonable angle. And now we've got to get each of these spokes. Where do they go? Right. Got to get them into these little, hold on, into these little notches here. Well, they've got to go into the long notches. Bear with me a second. I think we got to rotate this whole thing a little. Let me futz with this a little bit. I'll be right back. Okay, so the song Nobody Does It Better just came on, and we've got all of our little spokies hooked onto the wide little slots facing each other, with each little 7 facing each other. For some reason, my filming setup, I just can't get as good of a view of this as Wayne did on his channel. So I won't blame you if you go check out his stage 1 build video. I honestly capitulate. I just can't film it that well. It's weird. I think I need more cameras. Wayne has a lot more cameras. So what we are going to do is very gently. Now, as you snap these into place, other ones will want to snap out. I think that's modus operandi for this. So we have this little peg hole right there. And we're going to get that lined up with that peg down there. And we're going to sandwich these together. And they're not quite aligned. I'm right here. There we go. Okay, sorry, I wasn't in frame for a second there. These wheels are a bit challenging, but you want to go through once you sandwich together and make sure all those spokes go into those little bosses on the back half of the wheel. Once you get there, okay, hold this thing together like your life depends on it. So he's built many partworks. He's built the Jaguar, and he's built previous DB5. He's built other cars that had wire wheels. This is my first time ever wire wheeling. So this is like your worst case scenario for watching a YouTube builder flail putting these wire wheels together. I got it done. Took about 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours for me the first time this time. Wayne said he did it in an hour and a half. I believe the man. He is a legend in the partwork community. And I respect him greatly for knocking one of these out in an hour and a half. And he said he hadn't done one in a while. So that's an hour and a half of Wayne being a little rusty. I got it in 2.5. I don't feel terrible about that. But pay close attention to the instructions where it tells you to put in both an upper and lower, and test that they can grab around the proper wide tab inside of here. If they can't, it means you're off by 1. So you've got to start with your lowers and shift them over 1 diamond all the way around. That's actually pretty easy to do after the fact, to pull them back and then shift them back out. So now we could take out our tissue and wipe all of the... It doesn't matter that we're wiping the schmoo off the outside of this rim. It's going to get covered with a tire. But there we go. Whoo boy! Pitstain's first wire lace wheel. My God, that was a challenge. It's extremely satisfying at the end. I mean, this thing looks absolutely... Oh God, I don't know if that was a hiccup or a little bit of a burp, but absolutely amazing. My space heater is clearly from Russia. It's just not with love, though. There we go. Now we've got to scroll on down the instructions here and building the inner wheel rim. Dear, I have tissue. It looks like my wife's side of the bed. Just chunks of used tissue everywhere. Let's throw you out. But whoo boy, that was an experience. I think I'm going to leave this video as the only video where I do the wheel construction. We are going to get out stage 4 here. I'm going to back out a little bit. We don't need quite as much zoom. Whoop, too much back out. There we go. For this, we got to get the tire on here. So let's see if the instructions say to put the tire in hot water. So we're going to, yes, we are going to soak the tire in a bowl of hot water. I'll be right back when I get some hot water. All right, well, our tire is in, it's in hot water, kind of like me with the wife if I'm down here much longer. But let's get that out of there. Seems a little more pliable now. We're going to press it in to the wheel and then work it around. Whichever way, there we go. We got her started. Should give you a 1/8 scale tire rimmer for this thing. Or some spoons, you know. Actually, spoons might not be a bad idea. There we go. A little brute force. There we go. Okay, we're getting there. Get your fingers inside. Well, yep, we're getting there. We're almost there. Okay, and whoo, she's on. Oh, oh my gosh, it's in. I'm gonna give her a rub. Oh my god, and then the hubcap just sticks on magnetically. Oh, magnetically, and look at that gorgeous thing. And my damn heater, I gotta turn it off. It's just too noisy. Okay, so we got the wire wheel and we got the quickie wheel. Okay, I'm gonna admit, the wire wheel looks way better than the quickie wheel. You're never gonna see it from behind, so we should really just compare it from the front. Yeah. The quickie wheel's fine. And from a little distance, kind of a little difficult. No, not really. Not really. I mean, yeah, it's noticeably better, even from a couple feet away. Okay, well, either way, they give you these wheels because they are much easier to put together. This is a lot more work, and I will admit, this was tough. This was tricky. This was my first wire wheel ever. The next three will definitely go easier. I mean, I'm confident. I'm not just BSing people about that. The next three will definitely go easier. But, oh boy, that was, there's my fat gut. That's why we zoom in, so we don't see Ian's belly. I'm going to get my water out of the way, and I'm going to get on to the next stage. I'll be right back. All right, stage 5, the door. Oh, boy. Oh, wow. More absolutely beautiful paint on here. Birch silver or silver birch, one or the other. It's an Aston Martin color. That was the color of James Bond's 007. We have a little tiny door handle. We're going to put it in its little home there. Then we're going to flip her over on back and we're going to put a tiny PS21 screw right there. Okay, I'm going to get that screwed in. One sec, please. Okay, our little door handle's on. Now we're going to flip the door over and we're going to get the window onto its two posts right there. And we're going to put 2 DSO2 screws in here, but don't over tighten them because you could crack the clear plastic. It's something you just want them snug enough. And I've already sinned. I did not dip that screw into 3-in-1 oil. But, you know, the threads on this Agora kit seem to be a little better threaded than on some older part works that I've worked on. Yeah, you just want to screw it down until it doesn't wobble anymore. There we go. Okay. Ooh, that's nice. Even got the full chrome frame around the glass there. They actually give you a little polishing towel here with your pack 1. I don't know if this is for the paint or the glass, but it's a nice little microfiber. It's like an eyeglass cloth. So I'd assume you can use it for the glass. Yes, you can. It does a great job of polishing that glass. Very nice. Okay. I don't know why I'm polishing glass. I think I'm going to do this as the bullet-ridden version of the car when I'm done. And then we've got to take the last 2 parts in this tray, and we're going to get this door hinge. Okay, so we get the angled side facing up, and we're going to put that in there. Okay, we're going to take our metal plate, we're going to put our microfiber towel down. We're going to take our metal plate, put it on 2 pegs, and then get a DSO2 screw right into here. We'll be right back. Okay, so we got our screw in, and if you go like this, it's got a little springy action to it, and it's pushing the door in this way. So when this will bolt to the hinge and it opens, when you go to close the door, it'll want to really keep itself shut nice, I think. That's nice. Okay, so that stage is complete. Very nice. And then we got the door panel coming up. Let's get this out of here. And we need 6. And that's our door panel stuff. Let's slice across there. Very nice. I love all the 007 and James Bond logos all over this Agora model. Okay, we have a nice little door panel there. We got an armrest. And a little handle there. And some PSO5 and PS12 screws. And we are going to probably, yes. Why do they have you put, every picture in the manual has you attaching things, holding them with tweezers. That's silly, but fine. Okay, so these just fit. There's 3 holes. There's 2 pegs. There's 1 small peg and 2 bigger holes, and it just pops into there. And a couple of PSO5 screws are gonna go here, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna take our little handle. Okay, we're gonna put it in the door. It's keyed, so it'll only fit on one way, which is basically pointing down. Okay, and then we'll just hold that in from the outside, from the other side. Get one of these itty bitty little PS12 screws in there. Should I get the Wera screwdrivers because they're cool with the green grippy things? I don't know. Okay, nice. I think that's it. Yep, that's all she wrote for now. So now we're gonna get out the inner door panel trim part pack here, which is stage 7. We're gonna cut these out of their little plastic sleeping bags. Gently put those down. We have that panel. We have a little looks like a little chrome trim bracket, and a little, little door panel filler and some more door panel filler. And we're gonna, let's see here. So we're gonna take this, okay, and they got matching shapes. I'm just gonna sandwich those together. Everything fits together nicely. And then we're gonna put 4 PSO5 screws here, 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 and here. And I'll be right back. Alrighty, we got those 4 screws in, nice and easy. Going into plastic, so you know, don't over tighten any screws going in the plastic. And now we're going to, there's 3 bosses on here, and there's 3 posts here. So we just want to get those lined up and on there nicely. And then we're going to put in 3 DSO2 screws into these holes. I'm going to face the door panel down, so I'm putting in a microfiber. And we got little DSO2 screws. We'll get a few of those in there, and I will be right back. Alrighty, that's done. Well, I told you it's getting cold in Georgia, and we just had a new crisis. My wife just texted me that her electric blanket has broken. Oh boy. Okay, well, back to what we're doing here. We've got this nice little trim panel to pop in, and it's got the 2 bottom have like a hook, and the top 2 are more of a catch. So we're gonna hook these in the bottom first, okay? And then just snap them in like that. There we go. Nice. That was easy. Okay, I gotta get one of those little easy buttons. Okay, same thing for this bottom trim panel. It looks like this little fella has a couple of pins and a couple of snaps. So we want to make sure we get, hold on, We want to hook this back one in here first, I think. Then get the little pins. Get the little pins aligned. Okay. We got one pin there. And then we get, come on. There we go. Oh, we got the pin. Are we in with the pin? Hold on. One moment, please. Yeah, we definitely have a hook here. So we're going to try to, like, hook that in and get that pin into its little hole. Perfect. Then get this pin in its little hole. Perfect. Okay. And then we're going to push the snap in right there. Beautiful. Little tricky, but just hook that back one in first. Get both the pins aligned and started in their holes. And you just snap her in right there. Then we're going to take this fancy little bit of trim. All right, we're going to take this little sucker here. It's got 3 little pins on the back of it. One little piggy went to market. One little piggy. Oh, come on. Okay, hold on. My little piggies are fighting with me. Probably because I can't see anything because I'm so damn blind now after my LASIK surgery. And there we go. Nice little positive click. You can feel them clunk into place. That is lovely. Oh, there we go. Had to push in a little more on that top clip. And that there covers all the screw holes very nicely. And, yeah, that's it. We're all done. That is the end of pack 1. And we're going to wipe down our door. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, we've got this lovely door. We've got this absolutely iconic and beautiful hood. Super La Guerra. And I love that badging on there. And then our beautiful, although complicated to build for the first timer here, but if I can do it, hell, anybody could do it. I don't call myself the dumbest modeling channel on YouTube for no reason. I am 003.5 if I was an agent. So that's it for pack 1. Thank you for watching. Sorry about the stupid noisy space heater, but I was freezing my tootsies off down here, and you need to be warm to put these wires in. You can't have like jittery cold hands. Make sure you're nice and toasty. That being said, my wife ordered a replacement electric blanket. Thank the maker, I can go upstairs and not get my head ripped off by Dragon Lady. No, she's always a sweetheart, my wife, unless I piss her off. But hey, we know how it goes. Either way, thank you everybody for watching. Stain, Pit Stain, Licensed to Dumb, checking out. I'll see you next time for pack 2. Adios, everybody.